Most HVAC salespeople are losing deals they don't even know that they're losing. And the reason is sitting right in the homeowner's living room. Here's the thing. When a homeowner calls you out for a quote, they're not just buying equipment. They're buying confidence. They're buying the feeling that the person standing in their home actually knows what they're doing. And right now, most contractors are walking in with a tape measure, a gut feeling, and a price, and wondering why they keep getting beat on price by the guy down the street. I want to change that. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what homeowners need to understand about HVAC system design. And more importantly, I'm going to show you how you, as a salesperson, can use that knowledge to close more deals, charge what you're worth, and stop competing on price altogether. Stick with me, because by the end of this, the way you walk into a sales appointment is going to look completely different. Let me take you back to a conversation I had with a homeowner a while ago. It's a nice house, an older colonial, 2-story, but it was drafty as hell. She had already gotten 3 quotes. I was the 4th contractor to walk through the door. The first 3 guys came in, looked around for like 20 minutes, and handed her a number. That was it. No explanation, no process, just a price on a piece of paper. When I sat down with her, I asked her one question. I said, "Do you know why your upstairs is always hot in the summer and freezing in the winter?" She looked at me like I just read her mind, and she said, "Nobody ever even asked me that before." That one question, that one moment of actually engaging with her problem, changed the entire conversation. We talked for 45 minutes. I walked the house, I looked at the ductwork, I asked her about utility bills, and at the end of it, she didn't even ask me what my price was. She said, "When can you start?" That's the power of understanding system design, and that's what I want to give you today. So, let's start at the beginning. What actually is HVAC system design? Most homeowners think HVAC is simple. You get a box that blows hot air, a box that blows cold air, and some metal tubes running through the walls. Done. But here's what they don't realize, and what a lot of contractors don't explain, is that a heating and cooling system is more like a living, breathing organism than a machine. Every single part of it has to work together. If one piece is wrong, the whole thing suffers. There are really 3 layers to proper residential HVAC system design. The first is the load calculation. The second is equipment selection. And the third is the distribution system, meaning ductwork, the airflow, how the conditioned air gets from the equipment to the people living in the house. Let's break down each one. A load calculation, specifically what's called ACA Manual J, is the industry standard. It is basically a mathematical model of your home. It takes into account the size of every room, the insulation in the walls and attic, the windows, the doors, how many people live there, which direction the house faces, and at least a dozen other factors. The goal is to figure out exactly how much heating and cooling the home actually needs. Now here's where it gets real. Studies have shown that up to 70% of HVAC systems in the United States are either oversized or undersized. 70%. That means the majority of homeowners are living with a system that was never designed correctly in the first place. And what does an oversized system do? It short cycles. That means it turns on, blasts a hot or cold air, hits the thermostat set point too quickly, and shuts off before it ever has a chance to properly dehumidify the air or evenly condition the space. So you end up with a home that's clammy in the summer and has hot and cold spots, and a system that wears out faster because it's starting and stopping constantly. An undersized system has the opposite problem. It runs all the time and it still can't keep up on the hottest or coldest days. Neither one is acceptable. And when you, as a salesperson, can explain this to a homeowner in plain language, you immediately separate yourself from the other contractor who just looked at the old system and said, "I'll put in the same size." Here's a line I used to use all the time. I told homeowners, the old system was the wrong size when it was installed 20 years ago. I'm not going to make the same mistake the last contractor made. Watch how they respond. I bet their eyes light up because now they trust you. Next, let's talk about equipment selection, because this is where a lot of salespeople either win or lose the deal, and most of them don't even know why. Equipment selection has to come after the load calculation, not before. The number of contractors who pick the equipment first and then try to just justify it is staggering. You have to know what the house needs before you can decide what to put in it. It's just simple logic. Now, once you have the load calc numbers, you're looking at several things. Probably efficiency ratings like SEER2 for cooling, HSPF2 for heat pumps, AFUE for gas furnaces. You're looking at the equipment's capacity at real-world operating conditions, not just the nameplate data. If you're selling heat pumps, and if you're in New England, you should be, you need to know how that heat pump performs at like 5 degrees outside, not 47, at your design temp. This is something homeowners genuinely care about, particularly in the Northeast where we have real winters. They want to know, is this system going to keep my house warm when it's actually cold outside. And here's where you can really educate them. Modern cold climate heat pumps, we're talking about equipment that's been designed specifically for northern climates, can maintain full heating capacity down to temperatures well below zero. The Mitsubishi Hyperheat, the Bosch IDS, the LG Red Series, the Samsung MaxHeat, these systems are not your grandfather's heat pump that quit working when it was like 30 degrees outside. The technology has completely changed. But here's the thing. If you don't know that and you can't explain it, the homeowner is going to go to YouTube and find someone who can. And that someone is probably your competitor. Now we get to the part that I think is the most underrated piece of the entire system. The distribution system, the ductwork, the airflow. I'll say this as clearly as I can. You can put the best equipment in the world in a house and it will underperform if the duct system is wrong. I've seen brand new high efficiency systems that couldn't cool a house properly because the ductwork was so undersized and leaky that half the air never even made it to the rooms it was supposed to reach. The Air Conditioning Contractors of America, that's ACA, has developed what's called Manual D, which is the standard for residential duct design. It takes into account the friction rate of the duct system, the velocity of the air, the equivalent length of the runs, the pressure losses within the system. It's a science, and most contractors skip it entirely. Here's what homeowners should know about ductwork. First, leaky ducts are one of the biggest sources of energy waste in a home. The US Department of Energy estimates that in a typical house, about 20 to 30% of the air moving through the duct system is lost through leaks, holes, and poorly connected joints. That's money literally disappearing into the attic or the crawl space. Second, supply and return balance matters enormously. Every room needs the right amount of air coming in and going out. If the returns are undersized, which is incredibly common, you get static pressure problems. The system strains, the blower motor works harder, and the whole system becomes less efficient and less comfortable. All right, third, where the registers are placed can impact everything. A supply register in the wrong spot can create drafts, dead zones, or uneven temperatures across the room. This isn't magic, it's physics. But when you can explain it to a homeowner, suddenly they understand why their dining room is always colder than their living room. Now let's talk about something that ties all of this together. And it's something that I want every salesperson watching to internalize. It's the concept of total system performance. The homeowner doesn't care about the unit. They care about the outcome. They care about whether they're comfortable. They care about whether their utility bill goes down. They care whether their system's quiet, whether it lasts, whether they have to call you back in 3 months because something's wrong. And total system performance is what determines all of those outcomes. Not the brand on the equipment, not the color of the box sitting outside. It's how well the load was calculated, how appropriately the equipment was selected, and how well the distribution system was designed and installed. This is your competitive advantage. This is what likely separates a $9,000 proposal from a $16,000 proposal, and why the homeowner should choose you even if you're the most expensive. When I train contractors, I always say this: your price is not your problem, your presentation is. If you can walk into a home and show a homeowner with real data, with a real process, with real professional tools, that you've done the math, that you know their house, that your system is designed specifically for them and not copy-pasted from the last job, you'll close at a higher price point more often than not. Energy Star data shows that homeowners who've received a detailed system proposal, one that explains the design process, report higher satisfaction scores, fewer callbacks, and are significantly more likely to refer the contractor to friends and family. It's not an opinion, that's data. So, what's the practical takeaway here? What do you actually do differently starting tomorrow? First, start doing load calculations on every job. I don't care if it's a straight swap out. Do the math. Use the software. Show the homeowner the results. It takes maybe a maximum of an hour and much quicker with some LiDAR-enabled software, and it changes everything about how they perceive you. Second, learn your equipment, and not just the model numbers. Know the performance data. Know the capacity at low ambient temperatures if you're selling heat pumps. Know the efficiency ratings and what they mean in real terms. Dollars on a utility bill, not just a number on a spec sheet. Third, talk about the duct system, even if you're not redesigning it. Ask questions about comfort complaints. Look at the supply and return layout. If there are obvious problems, point them out. If you're doing a full install, do the duct design correctly. This alone will separate you from like 80% of your competition. And fourth, this is the most important one, change the way you talk with homeowners. Stop leading with price. Start leading with process. Tell them what you're going to do before you do it. Walk them through how you design a system. Explain why a load calc matters. Tell them the story of the homeowner whose upstairs was always hot because the last contractor never checked the ductwork. People buy from people they trust. And trust comes from demonstrating that you know what you're doing. Not by claiming it, by showing it. The homeowners are sitting in their living rooms waiting for a quote and they don't even know what a manual J is. They don't know what static pressure means. They don't know when somebody is genuinely trying to solve their problem versus just trying to sell them a box. Be the person solving the problem every single time. To get a complete framework for implementing this in your business and evaluating every weak link in your current process, watch the 15-point HVAC system design audit that shows you exactly where money's falling through the cracks. Thanks for joining me this week at HVAC Pro Blog, where we provide advice for residential system design, quality installation, and system diagnosis. See you soon.